ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my humble
Oh,
pranam at the divine lotus feet of our dearest master, Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, the founder of this hallowed university, Sri Satya Sai University for Human Excellence, located in Kalaburgi district of Karnataka in southern India. I am Praveen Kumar TC. I am an MSc graduate from the same university and I am now currently working as an executive in the publication divisions. So, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of this leadership board, distinguished, distinguished faculty members, vibrant student communities, and it's my honor and privilege to welcome you all for this weekly session of Birds of Wisdom, where we have AiR as our guest today. Atman in Ravi is a spiritual mentor, transformational author, singer, philanthropist, and a happiness ambassador. He is on a mission to help people to discover the way to eternal happiness through enlightenment. AiR live a life of success, fame, fortune, and achievement, but that was when before the road less traveled was took. He was an iconic entrepreneur who transformed retailing in India not only to walk away from a mega retail empire that he had created. He shut down his business when he was 40 and started making a difference in doing humanitarian, inspirational, and spiritual work. Atman in Ravi, AiR opened three destitute homes known as AiR Humanitarian Homes, spreading across Bengaluru that today cares for over 800 homeless people. Inspired by his guru Dada Vaspaniji, he realized that God lives in the temple of our hearts and changed the name of the temple that he built into Shivoham Temple. His realizations resulted in his own metamorphosis as he realized that we are the soul, the Atman, the part of supreme immortal power. He let go of his given name and he called himself AiR, the Atman in Ravi, which means soul embodied as Ravi. AiR now lives as an instrument of God, doing his divine will. Based on his realizations, AiR has authored nearly 70 books, composed and sung about 1,400 bhajans, and written several blogs, quotes, and poems. He conducts spiritual retreats and organizes talks that help people to evolve on their spiritual journey. He is a TEDx speaker and is often invited to speak at several organizations as ours. AiR, to give an glimpse of our institution, this hallowed institution, the university was established in the year 2018, where the pursuit of both secular and spiritual excellence is paramount. We align ourselves with the noble vision of our revered founder, Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, the illustrious successor of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Our mission is to provide free, high quality education of global standards rooted in ancient Indian ethos. We strive to create individuals with competent hands, brilliant heads, and compassionate hearts, fostering an environment that encourages selfless service, love for the fellow beings, and a deep connection with Indian culture. Our founder, inspired by the teachings and ideals of Bhagavan Baba, is spearheading a unique, a humongous global mission of service and spirituality across 60 countries. Since 2011, Sri Madhusudan Saiji has established institutions of excellence which brings respite to thousands of underprivileged and needy children through free healthcare, free education, and free nutrition. Today, 10 super specialty hospitals across India, hospitals in Fiji, Sri Lanka, and Nigeria, modern day Gurukulas across 28 Gurukulam education campuses, a university in South India, and 3 overseas institutions are providing values based education to over 3,600 boys and girls. A morning nutrition program by name Sri Satya Sai Annapurna Breakfast Program nourishes over 10 million school going children every single day all over India. 12 centers across 11 nations, named after human development centers, have been also established to work for the welfare of everyone. Sri Masudan Saiji has been teaching these tenets of Upanishads, quoting that it is only one God, Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam, that Atman alone permeates everything and everyone, who is Ananda Swarupa. Understanding the true nature of our own, that is Sat, Chit, and Ananda, one can contribute positively by being always and constantly one with our divinity. Along with the academic studies, the undergraduate and postgraduate students in our university pursue Paravidya sessions, the spiritual sessions, where they explore deepest truths and understanding of life through teachings from Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and other sacred texts. Without further delay, we welcome AiR to address the gathering. Over to you.
Namaskar. Thank you, Praveen, for the lovely introduction to what all you do and the kind words you have spoken. I hope you all can hear me. Is the sound clear?
Yes.
Thank you. My dear friends, I must admit that I got to know more of your university very recently. And so therefore, do forgive me about this. But I am so impressed and I am so grateful and I am so honored to be able to speak to the Sri Satya Sai University for Human Excellence. I think it is a privilege. And let me straight away get on to the subject that all of you are yearning to graduate in. My dear friends, the topic I had chosen before I knew much about your university was the 3 peaks of success in life. But it is not out of place to speak about these 3 peaks of success in life. Because the first question that you would ask yourself is, why are you in a university? Why have you joined? Why did we go to a school and university? What excellence are you seeking? When you're talking about human excellence, what is this human excellence we are talking about? And your founder, the respected Sri Madhusudhan Sai, and the revered Satya Sai Baba, and I will go back to the original Shirdi Sai Baba. I think the message that is coming down to us is coming down to us from the Upanishads that are thousands of years old, which you just spoke about, that Prabhu Satya, Jagat Nitya, that we are talking about, we are doing so many things, we are doing so many things. When will we realize that we are doing nothing? I love to tell people this. I started my journey with nothing. I became something. I achieved everything, only to realize we are nothing. We come from nothing and we go to nothing. That's why my name was Ravi. My mother and father called me Ravi, but on the 31st of August, when I was awakened, my name changed to the Atma in Ravi. This fellow is Ravi. I am not this fellow. This fellow that you see is only the body and the mind and me. But the real fellow that you see is divine energy. My dear friends, you are not in just another college for knowledge. I just got to know this recently. I was just looking at one of your podcasts and I loved, I think, what Mr. Bhupal said to Muji. I loved what he said. He said people who are learning LLB will become graduate into lawyers, and people who are doing MBBS will graduate into doctors. But people who are studying in the SSSFHE, as I call it, SSSUHE, that I thought form you must be calling, the university graduates people into God. And it is so beautiful to even hear that. Even to hear that. I mean, just telling you, it is unheard of. If you tell somebody in the world this, they will think, pagal hai, thoda pagal. I think, I'm not sure whether I should use Hindi. Uchcha agbittide. Karnataka ಅಲ್ಲ ನೀವು. Karnataka ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ನಡ ಗೊತ್ತು. uchcha agbittide. Yes, jail you tell people they are pagal hai. Kya baat karta hai? My dear friends, we all go to a college. But why? We go to college because we want knowledge. We want to develop skills. In reality, we are all seeking for only one thing. And what is the one thing we are seeking? Success. Don't you agree with me, my dear students? Everybody in this world is only wanting one thing, success. Because We believe that success gives us money, success gives us pleasure, success gives us happiness. My dear friends, I was running after the same success from 16 years old, from 16 to 40. For 25 years, I went from one peak to another peak, from one success to another success, only to realize that I was still on the first peak of life, the first peak of happiness, the first peak of success. The first peak is called achievement. And we are all trying to reach that state of achievement because we have been taught in school. What have we been taught in school? That success is happiness. Is it true? Is it true? Is success equal happiness? This we are taught in school. That's why we all remain a fool. We remain a fool because we are running after money and success and happiness. But my dear friends, success is not happiness. Happiness is success. The equation is wrong. Our teachers have taught us the wrong equation. Sometimes we get teachers and they can confuse us. This is one thing that our teachers confused us. All through school, my teachers used to tell me, practice makes a man perfect. Practice makes a man perfect. When I awakened, I realized practice cannot make a man perfect. Can practice make a man perfect? Practice can only make a man improved. Practice makes improvement. There is only one perfect source of power. There is only one perfection in this world. And we are all manifestations of that one perfect. But unfortunately, we are covered in layers of ignorance. There is so much avidya that we believe success is happiness. If success was happiness, then all the rich people in this world should be glad. They should not be committing suicide. Look at how many rich people in this world have committed suicide. It is only because money cannot buy happiness. Money can buy pleasure. And we need roti, kapda, makan. We need the basic needs of life. But my dear friends, I am so pleased to talk to a university whose students are seeking beyond money and success and achievement. And that is what I would like to talk to you today. The three peaks of success in life. When I was 16 till I was 40, I was on the first peak, going after success and achievement. Then I realized on that peak, the ultimate cliff is called death. Ultimately, everybody will die. You will be Adani and Ambani and Bill Gates and all this Warren Buffett. But finally, you will fall off the cliff and you will die. But you have not achieved the purpose of life. The second peak of life, the second peak I realize is not achievement, it is fulfillment. I moved from 16 to 40, only making money and more money. Kids came, big kids came forth, big businesses. But then I realized that there was a state. I opened a big Shiva temple, 65-foot statue. I don't know how many of you have seen the Shivoham Shiva temple in Bangalore. It's a huge statue of Lord Shiva with the Ganga coming from the jata, from the locks of Lord Shiva. I started from charitable homes, thinking I am doing, till I realized I am nothing. What am I? My dear friends, this moved me from a state, what I call from pleasure to peace. I moved from pleasure to peace. I moved from achievement to contentment and fulfillment, doing my humanitarian work, doing my religious work at that time. But then I had a spiritual master. See, the problem in life is this. If you have a spiritual master, you will reach your destination faster. But if you don't have a spiritual master or have a wrong master, your life will end in a disaster. So it is for you to decide. Isn't it true? I see some of you clapping because you realize where are you going? My dear friends, I am talking to you not some theory. I am talking to you my life experience. I am talking to you not some technical syllabus from a book. I have written, I just finished writing my 83rd book. I have written 83 books on the subject of spirituality, realization, God realization, happiness, suffering, mind, ego, consciousness, only on the subject of spirituality. My 1450 songs called Jeevan Sangeet, it's on YouTube, are talking exactly on the subject that we are on this today. My dear friends, I met a guru. His name was Dada J.P. Vaswani. And while he was a mentor to many on very different subjects of life and happiness, he selected me to teach me the simple truth of Tattvamasi. He was trying to teach this to people for 25 years. 25 years, I don't think anybody understood. It took me 25 years. It took me 25 years to understand the meaning. What is Tattvamasi? So, my dear friends, today, after going on a talash, after going on a quest, after realizing the truth, I shut down my business when I was 40. It's the grace of the Supreme. It was that time Lord Shiva. I used to pray to Shiva. I used to always think, Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Then later on, I realized, Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. I think you all are studying this in your extra classes and in your. I think you're also having regular subjects in your college, but you have a passion for spiritual evolution. And that, my dear friends, is my area of interest. I shut my business at the age of 40. I took an exit from the highway of achievement. I went to the plateau of fulfillment. In the plateau of fulfillment, I found peace of mind. Peace you don't have to find. Peace is within. You have to still your mind. If you still your mind, then peace you will find. My dear friends, you are all blessed to be in such a university which talks about spiritual education. And more than me talking today, I think I should stop talking and answer your questions. That is my feeling. Because you may have so many questions about who you are, what you are doing, what you are seeking, where you have reached. Every day at 8, I run a Zoom session. People from all over the world come for the Zoom session and they ask me questions on death. They ask me questions on the Katha Upanishad. What happens at death? What is the story of Nachiketa and Yama? They ask me, what are the Mahavakyas of the Upanishads? People want explanations on birth, on so many questions. And this Zoom call happens every evening at 8. But today I would like to answer your questions live here. Because in reality, it is so difficult to get the right answers. You see, some people are reading some scriptures. If you read Bhagavad Gita, they will talk of transmigration of the soul. Now, what is transmigration of the soul? People go chakra. Does the soul get reborn? Does the soul actually take rebirth? Now, this, unless there is realization, you will just be lost in a confusion. We have to move from confusion to purification, illumination, realization, liberation, and unification. Unless we remove the confusion, there can be no realization. So, my dear friends, let us move on. I will speak a few more minutes and then I will let you ask me questions. On the 31st of August 2014, I got awakened. I said, I am not Ravi. I am Atma. I am the soul in Ravi. I changed my name. When I came to my office and I told people I am Atma, they thought I have gone little screw loose. That's not, the screws become little loose. What your Atma? I am Atma and Ravi, man. I am not Ravi. This body is Ravi. I am the Atma in Ravi. So I kept writing Atma in Ravi, Atma in Ravi. My name became AiR, AiR. And then I started my journey of enlightenment. My awakening was based on 5 words. 5 words. Neti, Neti, Tattvamasi. I'm sure you must be familiar with the words Neti, Neti. Neti, Neti means I am not this body, I am not this mind. But who am I? If I am not this body, if I am not this mind, but I exist, then who am I? Very simple, my dear friends. Are you this body? This body will die. Where does this body come from? Some of you, you celebrate your birthday. You cut a cake. But has anybody told you that birth date on your birth certificate is fake? It's a fake birth date. Because one day before that birth date on your Aadhaar card, you were alive. You were kicking your mother in the stomach. You were actually conceived 9 months before. Have you realized that? Have you realized that you were born, you were conceived 9 months before. What were you? You were one zygote, one small cell. I call that cell spark of unique life. If you write spark of unique life, it is soul, Soul, soul. You are the Atma, you are the soul, you are the spirit, you were conceived 9 months before. One day, will you die? You ask somebody, will you die? What answer they will tell you? Will you die? Yes or no? People say, yes, one day I will die. No, no, you will not die. Your body will die. Only your body will die. You will fly. You will leave the body and you will move on. My dear friends, this is the ultimate truth spoken to us by the masters. Many of us think we are the mind. I was watching some of your podcasts, and many speakers respectfully spoke to you. Mind, bring your mind, clean your mind, purify your mind. Have they not? Have you not been taught about how to? But I would like to ask you the question: a ball is round. What is the shape of the mind? Have you seen the mind? What is the color of the mind? You have seen the brain, picture of the brain. It looks like gray matter. You have seen the heart. It looks like pinkish red. Have you seen the mind? Anybody? Raise your hand. Has anybody seen the mind or no? Have you seen the mind or no? Yes or no? No. Everybody saying no, 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 no. How can you see the mind when there is no mind? There is no mind. As per Upanishads, there is no mind. The mind is only a bundle of thoughts. When the thoughts come together, it becomes the mind. It appears to be the mind. And this is created from what is called avidya. Sukshma Sharira. Sukshma Sharir, the subtle body, the mind is nothing but a rascal. This mind is a rascal. It is our biggest enemy. It does not exist. It appears to exist. Then it creates the ego. The ego that says I. As long as the ego stands tall like a wall, then we cannot achieve the truth. The ego must fall. When the ego will fall, it creates a bridge and we realize the truth in one and all. The truth is God is Shiv, supreme immortal power. When we start telling God is Shiva, God is Krishna, God is Rama, God is Buddha, God is Jesus, God is Baba, God is Guru Nanak, we can be completely confused. I think Praveen said in his talk that you all believe God is one. God is a power. God is birthless and deathless. God is beginningless and endless. God has no name. God has no form. So we call God, I would ask all of you, don't use the word God from today. Use the word Ship. Ship. Supreme immortal power. When I meet somebody, I say, Sip Upinder, Sip Praveen, I say Sip. I see Sip in you. And I don't see so many students. I see Sip. In you, what do I see? I see the supreme immortal power. That is the power of enlightened beings. Have you heard the story of Namdev? Have you heard the story of Namdev? Namdev was a saint. He was making chapati. As he was making chapati, the dog came and took the chapati and started running. Namdev got up and started running after the dog with the ghee in his hand. And somebody asked Namdev, leave it, man. Dog is hungry, taking a chapati, leave it. Namdev said, I don't want to take the chapati from the dog. I want to put ghee. He says, Prabhu, he's calling the dog. Hey, Prabhu, Prabhu. Huh? Namdev ne pakai, roti kutte ne uthai, पीछे घी का कटोरा लेके वो भागे बोले सूखी तो न खाओ प्रभु घी तो लेके जाओ बोले सूखी तो न खाओ प्रभु घी तो लेके जाओ क्यों रूप तो अपना छुपा रहे You understand Hindi? You are understanding what I'm saying? Namdev was awakened. He could see G-O-D in the D-O-G. My dear friends, that is called awakening. And I awakened on the 31st of August 2014. This is called enlightenment. This is the ultimate goal of life. This is human excellence. This is what I think Sri Satya Sai University for Human Excellence. This is what I think Mr. Bhupinder was telling in the podcast. How you all want to realize you are God. You don't have to graduate to become God. You are already God. You, whether you admit or you don't admit, you are already Tattvam Asi. I am Atma Brahma. Prajnanam Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. But people don't understand. People are trying to be a millionaire. People are trying to be a billionaire. Thinking making millions and making billions will give you happiness. Praveen spoke about true happiness. What did he say? He said, I've written a book. What is the book name? Sat Chit Anand. And Praveen spoke about it. I think because all of you are talking about it in your group discussions, and you all are discussing what is Sat Chit Anand? Truth, consciousness, bliss. There is eternal bliss in truth consciousness, but there is eternal unhappiness in ignorance. As long as we are living a life of ignorance, we will suffer pain of the body, misery of the mind, agony of the ego. My dear friends, you may be a millionaire or a billionaire, but you still have a mind that creates fear, worry, stress, anxiety, regret, shame, and guilt. 7 miseries. You still have an ego, the ego that has 7 monsters: anger, hate, revenge, jealousy, pride, greed, and selfishness. My dear friends, when are you going to get rid of the mind and the ego? How are you going to transcend it? By realizing Neti Neti Tattvamasi. You are young students in colleges. Many students are running after success. Parents tell, hey, get a good job, become IT, become a tech guy, go to America, get a good job. Okay, then what? You will get a good job. Then what? You will make money. Then what? You will build a house. Then what? Ultimately what? Will you take your money and go with you? If you may be any multimillionaire, can you take 1 rupee with you? We know it. We don't realize it. The purpose of life is not to become rich. The purpose of life is not to fall in the ditch. The purpose of life is to enrich yourself into spiritual evolution. My dear friends, because we don't realize the purpose, our life remains a circus. We are like a clown jumping up and down. We are thinking this success, that success, but in reality, we are failures. Because if you just live and die and you don't find out who am I, then what is your life about? What did Ramana Maharishi say? You heard of Ramana Maharishi? He told only 2 words. What are the 2 words? Nan Yara. Nan Yara means Koham. Koham answers Soham. And Adi Shankara in the 8th century, what did he say? He said, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. My dear friends, I think you know all these things. I don't have to tell you many things. But we have to overcome mind. We have to overcome ego. Then we will discover that we are the soul. We are the Atma. The soul, the spark of unique life is like a wave. Where does the wave come from? The wave comes from the ocean. Where does the wave go back? It goes back into the ocean. Where you and me come from? You and me, the Atma, comes from the Paramatma. We are the Atma. We come from Paramatma. We don't know. We live, we die, we create karma, and we come back. And in the moment of death, there are only 2 possibilities. There is reincarnation or there is realization. If you don't have realization, then there will be reincarnation. You will be born and this will go on and on and on. My dear friends, the truth is we are all manifestations of that one divine. One man went into a gold shop and he asked that fellow, sir, how much is this? Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram. How much is this statue? So that fellow told him, this is 10,000 rupees. And that goldsmith, he had one more statue of Ravana. Same statue, Ram and Ravana. Sir, how much is Ravana statue? He said, that also 10,000. He told you, goldsmith, you fellow, a mad fellow. You are. Rama is costing 10,000, Ravana also costing 10,000. The goldsmith told him, you are seeing Rama and Ravana. For me, it's all gold. This is also made of gold. This also made of gold. If I melt both, you appear to be beautifully dressed in white clothes like me. I also only wear white clothes. I'm seeing all of you wearing white. I'm feeling happy. I wear only white shirt and white pant. So you are all divine souls. You are all manifestations of the one supreme. You may appear to be different bodies that you wear, but the Atma is one. The Atma is Paramatma. So we must realize we are part of SIP. SIP is the supreme immortal power. This is what we must realize. I think in your college, they teach you, your university, they teach you the goal is moksha. Moksha means God realization. What is the way to God realization? Have you learned? There is only one way. There is no two ways. There is only one way to God's realization. You may take the path of Dhyana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga or Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. I discovered fifth yoga called Prema Yoga. Whatever yoga you do, you must first reach that state of self-realization. When you reach that state of self-realization, I am the soul. What is? I am the soul. The soul is SIP, the supreme. I am SIP. SIP is in all. The four Mahavakyas, what does it say? It says Tattvamasi. I am Atma Brahma. Prajnanam Brahma. Aham Brahmas. My dear friends, self-realization. Neti, neti, Tattvamasi. That is the beginning. We must realize that. And how will you reach that state of self-realization? There is only one way. Still the mind. If you still the mind, from a state of mind, you will reach a state of consciousness. I often ask people in the spiritual talk, have you heard of AK-47? You know AK-47? Have you heard AK-47? If you take AK-47, one shot only if I do, all people will be dead. But have you heard of MK-50? Anybody has heard MK-50? Anybody has heard? MK-50 is more dangerous than AK-47. Because MK-50 is mind killer 50. The mind killer can kill you with 50 toxic thoughts in 1 minute. It can shoot 50,000 thoughts a day. Imagine you are shot. AK-47, nothing. Only body will die. MK-50 will destroy you completely. So, my dear friends, we have to still the mind. We have to kill the mind. We have to reach that state. Is the connection not okay? Check the Wi-Fi. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Oh, it's good. I'm sorry. My image seems to have gone. Just check my image. So I was telling you the importance of how we have to still the mind and kill that mind, because the mind is MK-50. And the MK-50 is a mind killer 50, my dear friends. So see what happens now. Sometimes, just now, my image became blank. Mind came and told, what happened? Image gone. Mind can disturb you. Mind can disturb your concentration. Mind can take you away from state of chitta, state of consciousness. My dear friends, today I would like to close quickly and give you a chance of asking me questions, but let me conclude my talk by telling you this. If you want mukti, moksha, if you want God realization, self-realization, still your mind. Still your mind, you will kill your mind. Because when you still the mind, there is no mind. That's why in your schools and colleges, they talk about meditation. Meditation means reducing MTR. What is MTR? MTR is a mental thought rate. You have to reduce MTR. Then from 50 thoughts a minute, 40 thoughts, 30 thoughts, when it becomes one thought, there is no mind. Mind disappears. You reach the state of chitta. In the state of chitta, what people don't understand, in the state of consciousness, the intellect, the buddhi, what Adi Shankara wrote in his book, Viveka Chudamani, the buddhi or the vivek becomes jagrat, becomes awakened. Either in the mind, we will be controlled by ignorance, or in chitta, consciousness, we will be controlled by intelligence. One of the two will be the master of our life. Either we are ignorant or we are intelligent. If we are ignorant, we will suffer body, mind, and ego. If we are intelligent, we will live as the soul. What will we do? We will block the mind and we will lock the mind. Some people ask me how to block the mind, how to lock. I tell them, you snatch it and you latch it. This is how to snatch it and latch it. So first, you become aware. You become aware that you are not the mind. After you become aware, you flip to consciousness, to chitta, from man to chitta. Then you be still, silence the mind, separate yourself from the mind. Then you snatch it. Then when thoughts, which are toxic thoughts, when they come to attack you, when thought of fear, worry, stress, when it comes to attack you, you look at the thought and say, stop it. You say, stop it. You crop it. You chop it. You drop it. What will you do when a bad thought comes to you? What will you do? When the thought of fear, hey, stop it. Stop it. Crop it. Chop it. And drop it. You flush it. Flush the thought away. You be in a state of consciousness. You be in a state of awareness. My dear friends, that is the only way to get anubhuti. Anubhuti. That anubhuti means realization. We need anubhuti, not knowledge. As I said, knowledge you can get in college. But for realization, you need crystallization. For realization, you need purification. You need illumination. So, my dear friends, that will happen not with the mind. That will happen with the intellect. That will happen when you move into a state of consciousness. But I can go on talking. This subject is like this. I can talk from morning to night. The subject of spirituality, if I talk and start morning, all your lecturers will have to go home. From morning to night, I can give lecture on what is enlightenment. Somebody asked me the question, why be enlightened? Bolo, why? Why is this spirituality? What is the purpose? I tell them, enlightenment is the ultimate peak of happiness. You must go from achievement to fulfillment to enlightenment. Enlightenment takes you from pleasure to peace to purpose. Enlightenment makes you realize who you are. Enlightenment stops you from jumping like a clown up and down. It gives you purpose. Life is not a circus. Enlightenment is the main reason for our existence. And what is enlightenment? Enlightenment is to open the door that sees inside. We have 9 doors, my dear friends. We have 9 doors. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, and 2 organs of excretion and procreation. We have 9 doors. All 9 doors are looking outside. Guru Nanak said, Dasmai dwar kholo. Dasmai dwar means open the 10th door. The 10th door will look inside. So, my dear friends, I want to ask you one thing. What is the purpose of education? What is the purpose of education? The true purpose of education is realization. The true purpose of education is liberation and unification. If you have all the education in the world and you go on studying information technology and chemistry and biology, you go on studying. But if you don't learn the spiritual anatomy, if you don't learn neti neti tattvamasi, then what have you learned? If you live and you die, but you don't know who am I, you live and you die, you don't know who am I, then you will cry. When something happens, you look up at the sky and you'll ask why. But you will be reborn and this will go on and on. This chakkar, the cycle will go on and on and on and on. What is the purpose of our life? To realize I am not the body, mind, ego, I am the divine soul. To realize we are manifestations of Paramatma. We are not this body, we are the Atma is the Paramatma. In front of me, I see God. This is the realization. To see God in all, to serve God in all, to love God in all. This is the main purpose of education. If there's an education which does not give you realization, such an education should be stopped. There is no purpose of any education if we don't learn the ultimate subject of realization. Who am I? Why am I here? So, my dear friends, I don't want to continue talking because I think if I answer your questions, it will be better. To conclude my talk today, let me quickly put it together. Life has three peaks: achievement, fulfillment, enlightenment. 99% of the people in this world are running after achievement. But just like we know, 1% of this world is visually blind. 1% of this world is visually blind, they cannot see. 99% of this world is spiritually blind. They think we are the body, the mind, and ego me. When will we realize who am I? My dear friends, the purpose of life is to go from achievement, fulfillment, to enlightenment. Just success and money and pleasure, no use. The happy people in this world are not the people who are rich and famous and successful. The truly happy people in this world are those who have realized that they are the divine soul. They live happily and they are the richest people in the world. I think I am the richest person in the world because I am the happiest person in the world. Happiness doesn't come from money. And I'm telling you, after I made a lot of money, I made a lot of money and I gave it up. I left it because I know that money can buy you food, cannot buy you appetite. It can buy you medicine, cannot buy you health. It can buy a diamond ring, cannot buy love. In this world, we don't even know the meaning of happiness. We don't know the meaning of love. I tell people, you are living, but you don't know how to laugh, how to love, and how to live. You exist and you die because you don't realize the truth of who am I. So today, let us evolve from achievement to fulfillment and reach enlightenment. I would love all the students here to ask as many questions as you can on this subject of the purpose of life, on the three peaks of success, and going beyond just money and name and fame. Of course, we need to make money to take care of ourselves. I'm not saying you should become a bhikshu. I'm not saying you should become a beggar with a begging bowl. No. We need to fulfill our need, but we should not be caught in greed. There's a difference between what we need and what we want. We need food, but full day we cannot say, I want pizza, noodles, fried rice. This is a want. We need clothes, but if you say, I want Louis Vuitton and I want to go to the boutique, that is not a need. So let us learn to live with contentment and reach that state of enlightenment. So this is AiR, Atman and Ravi. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. I am so happy to speak to so many students who are on the spiritual path. And I told you, I just got to know about the curriculum and your objective recently. And so I changed my talk slightly to be more spiritual. Otherwise, I was just talking to college students. But you are not just in any college which is giving people knowledge. You are in an education for realization. And it is an honor for me. It is really a blessing and a privilege and an honor to speak to all of you. With folded hands, I bow down to you for being present on this call today. I hope you have understood what I'm speaking and I hope it has helped you. And I'm happy to answer any questions on any of the subjects that I have spoken or on spirituality or any subject I might have missed on the same path. You can ask questions. Can I have all the screens? Can I see all the? Yes, please. Yes, sir. I hope the voice was clear and the message has come clearly. Over to you.
Yes, AirG. Thank you so much for your wonderful talk and inspiring words, AiR. We have myriad of questions to be asked, and participants have sent me. I would like to read it out for you. The first question is that is the concept of many souls or singular soul in Sanatana Dharma is confusing?
Yes. So, what is the concept of one soul or many souls? Correct?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to ask you this question. What do you see? What color balloon? Blue color balloon, white color balloon. Now you see another blue color balloon. Is the air from this balloon and the air from this balloon has come from one source or different sources? One source. If I leave this air, the white balloon air is gone. The blue balloon air is gone. Now I will give any student 1 crore rupees. Give me this air separately and give this air separately. Can you give me? I'll give price 1 crore. Can you give me? This shows us, this analogy, this example shows us that the Atma comes from Paramatma and goes back to Paramatma. As long as it is Praveen, right? Praveen, as long as the soul in you gives you life, it appears to be your soul, SOUL, spark of unique life. But it comes from one source. For example, in your college, there's a bulb. The bulb has light. And there's another bulb. Two separate switches. The electricity from both the bulbs are coming from the same source. But the button is separate. I can switch off one bulb or I can switch off the second bulb. I hope my answer is explaining. So, all Atma come from one Paramatma. I'll give you the last example. If a wave is coming and hitting the beach, it goes back in the ocean. Another wave comes, it goes back in the ocean. Hundreds of waves, thousands of waves. How many oceans? One ocean. The wave comes from the ocean, goes back into the ocean. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, sir, yes. We have next question that how does your perspective change once you realize?
When you realize, you open your real eyes. As long as you don't realize, realization means what? Open your real eyes. Then you don't see that you are the body or the mind and ego, me. You realize you are divine energy. You realize you are the Atma. I realize I am not Ravi. I am Atma in Ravi. You are Praveen. No. You are soul in Praveen. You are Sip. Soul in Praveen means two things. Soul in Praveen and supreme immortal power. Both are the same. You are Bhagavan. Yes, Praveen.
Here next we have the question as you had Guru Sadhu Vaswani ji. Can you share some more elaborate things that how the interactions were there with your Guru?
Actually, my Guru is Dada J.P. Vaswani. His Guru was Sadhu Vaswani. And Dada J.P. Vaswani left this world in 2018 when he was nearly 100 years old. Very funny. He used to teach people about spirituality, but people are not interested. People will come and tell Dadaji, will you eat apple? Dadaji, will you eat mango? Dadaji, I brought Calcutta Sandesh for you. He used to be fed up. He was a very enlightened person. So he called me and he told me, you have to realize the truth about life. And I used to ask him questions every day. That's why I have Zoom call every day. Hundreds of people come and hundreds of people ask me questions every evening at 8 o'clock on Zoom call. So my Guru was very intelligent. He was very awakened. He knew everything about the subject. But remember this, my dear friends, out of 100% people, only 1% are interested in spirituality. Of that 1%, only 1% are enlightened. And of that 1%, only 1% attain God. So it's not for everybody. My Guru taught me this. He used to answer all my questions one by one. He used to answer all my questions.
Next question is quite good. I feel that in this world, division seems inherent from Hinduism and Christianity to various other philosophies. each segmented into different sects. How does one must practice the unity of Atman, that is Advaita? This is naturally bifurcated existence.
See, the problem is that we all are born in a religion. We may be born in Hinduism or we may be born in Buddhism or Christianity, okay. But religion is like a kindergarten. You just like how do you stay in kindergarten all your life, Praveen? You start in kindergarten, then you go to school, then you go to university. Religion is kindergarten. The university is spirituality. So spirituality has got finally the ultimate spirituality is only Advaita. You can go from religion to Dvaita. You can say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Even the Bhagavad Gita text starts with duality and goes to non-duality, Advaita. So my subject to you, you know, there's a game in Olympics, you might have seen a game. It's called pole vault. Pole vault means you have to jump 20 meters high in the sky. So they give you a big, long pole. You run and you poke that pole and you jump up in the sky and then you jump over. But to jump over, you have to drop the pole. If you don't drop the pole, if you take the pole, you will fall. Religion is like pole vault. You need all these sects, you need all these religions. All religions are good. No religion is bad. All religions teach you about God, A, B, C. All ABC are good. But you just like an 80-year, imagine 80-year-old man. I met an 80-year-old man. I think, sir, what are you doing, sir? He said A, B, C, MAT, math, BAT, math, CAT, cat. Is it okay? 80-year-old man telling me MAT, math. Is it okay? So you must grow from kindergarten of religion to university of spirituality.
That was a profound message. Second is, will Generation Alpha or Gen Z embrace Vedanta or the concept of oneness because of this era where they are very much aspiring and they haven't got if people are there in the line of achievement, because there are many people after achievement they get something like vairagya or jignasa, that what is this life. So how that the present generation or generation of Gen Z and AI, this AI time, that how youngsters can get this jignasa in the early age?
See, I tell you, there's one drastic change in students in the Gen Z or what you're calling the AI age. People are starting to ask questions. In the earlier days, no, it was not like that. In the earlier days, there was no technology, there was no internet, there was no Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, nothing was there. If somebody gave you one book, they will tell you, shut up and read that book. You shut up and read that book, chapter closed. Now it's not like that. People go on Google and they will ask in Google, who is God? Google will give some answer. What Google is doing, the people are going to chat GPT. In chat GPT, sometimes you are thinking you're getting intelligent answer. There is no, luckily they are calling AI. Luckily, means artificial intelligence, not real intelligence. So the students of today are asking the question which is very relevant. What is the truth? But the problem is on the other side, there is too much materialism. On one side, there's excellent technology and globalization for the learning of Advaita and spirituality. On the second side, Amazon.com. I met one girl in college. I told her, come on, let us learn Advaita. She told, after I finish Mintra. After Mintra shopping, I'm shopping on Mintra. I don't know what is Mintra. I don't know. I'm shopping on Mintra. Then I will come to Advaita. So there are two options. The modern generation, they are asking the question, how did Ganapati get elephant head? How did Hanuman fly the mountain? They are asking questions. Who is going to give the answer? How they are going to evolve? What they are going to do? It's a matter of an individual choice and opinion, depending on parenting, depending on the guru, depending on the education. All this will matter.
Thank you, AI. Yeah, next question is that as you told that mind has to be killed, and even the scripture says that manomulam idam jagat, that through world or through this mind alone this world or even anything can be achieved and accomplished. And you told that mind has to be killed, or mind has to be something what that has to be under control or check. How is that both goes together? Air?
When the scriptures are talking, they are talking of this man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. They are talking about moving from man to chitta. When they are talking about the mind, sometimes they are meaning chitta, they are meaning buddhi. We should not get carried away. Sometimes wrong interpretation, wrong translation, very dangerous. Remember one thing, the mind is a rascal. And sometimes the mind makes you look at this jagat as real, but it is maya. It is a cosmic illusion. Even science said, like 2022, the Nobel Prize was given to three physicists for quantum physics, wave particle duality. This whole world is a cosmic illusion. It's a manifestation. So we must realize this. So when don't get wrong, don't interpret it in the wrong way. This mind that we are talking about is the intelligence. It is the buddhi.
Yeah. The next question is that if one truly gets conviction with the truth and the experience the truth, so how he or she should drive motivation on day-to-day basis to work?
The moment you get the realization that you are not the body, mind, ego, you are the soul, then you become a divine instrument. Then you become a karma yogi. A karma yogi, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, is somebody who says that I'm a divine instrument. Then that person doesn't need motivation. See, what is the meaning of motivation? Motivation means there must be a motive. That man murdered that guy because there was a motive. What was the motive? But instead of motivation, you should have inspiration. Inspiration is that inner spark of energy that's coming from your consciousness, coming from your soul. So that realization will create inspiration. You don't need any motivation.
Now we have Brother Chidambar who wants to share his thoughts.
Sairam here. The talk was so refreshing and so inspiring. I remember, like, particularly enjoyed the Niti Niti concept, and I enjoyed Dada Vaswani's mention. I remember as a young student at Sri Satyasai Institution, the Mudenhalli, had read about Dadaji and also Sadhu Vaswaniji, and it was so refreshing and so inspiring that I could hear on him once again. The concept of Niti Niti, which you have mentioned, I just want to add one more thing to that. I remember Bhagwan used to say, not this, not this. You have to add only, not only this, not only this. He gave a different dimension to Niti Niti concept. Like Bhagwan used to say that Satyam Brahma, like God is Satya, and even Jagat is also Satya, because the Jagat is just a manifestation of that consciousness,
Absolutely.
which you also told. I pray for your blessings that all our students also should become like you. We should change from Chidambar to Atman in Chidambar, or Atman in Praveen, or Atman in whichever name which they embody. And I once again extend on the behalf of all the university elders and the top leaders, and also on the behalf of Sadhguru, Sri Madhusudan Sai, our visionary founder, I extend an invitation to you to please visit our ashram in Mudenhalli and also our other campuses at Nallakadranahalli and Kalburi. Sairam.
Definitely. Definitely. Because you're a spiritual organization. I never knew actually that you're so deeply into this, but this is my subject. I hope the talk has benefited the students, and I hope that we will have an opportunity, because this is the mission of my life, and students must evolve. As I said, education must take us to realization, and I wish you all the best. And thank you for the opportunity for me to address your students. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll conclude
Shiva.
the session with Shanti Mantra. Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.